And now, you know what else I love? Lunch.
I know.
Eating
we
some
think
good
about
food.
it right when we come in. We think about what we're going to have to eat for dinner,
It's
actually.
all we talk about, really.
Yeah, it is.
We need to develop our friendship
I
more.
dreamt about eating a cheeseburger. It was a great dream. Anyway, so between meetings, phone calls, and emails, it can be hard to find time to eat a healthy lunch. We know this, right?
We do. So we're going to show you an easy lunch on the go. We have Dr. Laura Kristoff. She's a professor of nutrition. I'm going to go with nutrition extraordinaire, too.
Thanks.
But we're doing salads on the go, and the best vessel is maybe a mason jar.
Yeah, so, very cost effective to purchase a mason jar. You can get 12 in a box for pretty cheap. And it is a nice little vessel as well, because if you start with the salad dressing on the bottom and then build your way up, as long as you're keeping it upright, your salad won't get soggy.
Because that was going to be my question. You must have to have a little mason jar to put the dressing in, but you don't if you put it on the bottom.
No, you just put it on the bottom and
That's
make
smart.
sure that you're not, jostling it until you're ready to eat it.
Right, exactly. Then you can jostle away.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about assembling it.
Okay, so first, you need to decide the size of the mason jar. You might want to have a 2-cup mason jar if it's just a side salad, or you could do a little breakfast parfait with a 2-cup jar too. Or you might want to go a little bit bigger so you can fit 3 or 4 cups in there for an entree salad. So let's talk about building the perfect salad, the perfect entree salad here. You want to start with some sort of, base, right? So you want the darker, the leafier, the green, the healthier that green is. So you want a lot of vitamin A, a lot of folate, a lot of vitamin C, a lot of iron in your greens. So you want to go for a spinach or an arugula or a kale or something like that.
And not something like an iceberg lettuce. Or
Yeah,
something
probably not. I mean, iceberg lettuce, it's not going to harm you, but it just doesn't have as much nutrient density, packed in. So a dark leafy green. Then you want to add a little color through a few other vegetables. So here I have some red peppers. They're super high in vitamin A and vitamin C. We have some sprouts for a little bit more fiber and also a little bit of extra crunch there. Some celery also has a lot of fiber. Mushrooms for a little bit different taste. And then I have some fermented carrots up there too. You could also do some sauerkraut. That really high in probiotics, the fermented foods, naturally. So, we often talk about taking yogurt or a probiotic pill, but you can have pickled vegetables and things like that, and those provide probiotics too.
Is that a relatively neutral taste, or is it a taste that might stink up the rest of your salad?
It could possibly stink up the rest of your salad. These are gingered carrots, so it doesn't. Yeah, so it doesn't have so much of that sauerkrauty type taste. The pickled cabbage definitely is the strongest for sure.
So we have our leafy greens, our colorful vegetables.
And then you want something crunchy, so it's something with a crunch. So you could add some nuts. They're packed with healthy fats as well as proteins, or maybe some berries or something like that to give a little texture. And then, you want to top off that salad with some protein that's going to keep you full till dinner time. So with the protein, with Lent coming up, some people aren't eating so much meat on Fridays, right? So you could go for something like beans or chickpeas or lentils in there for some bean-based protein. Some canned tuna or sardines. Those are sardines
These
right
are
over
sardines
there.
in mustard, though.
Yeah, in mustard.
Which I will admit, don't like I was about to say saltines. Don't like these fish one bit, but in that mustard, you don't really smell it that much.
Yeah, and you're right near it.
Yeah, I'm very close to it.
Yeah, and then you could put some cheese on there too. You probably don't want so much cheese as your only protein, because there's so much saturated fat in there as well, but a little bit of saturated fat can really fill you up and give you that satisfaction out of that entree salad.
And then you have here the fruits and berries and also some yogurt for your breakfast parfait.
Yeah, so you could do a little breakfast parfait as well, just layering some berries with some Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt's super high in protein. The berries will give it some sweetness so you don't have to have added sugar in your yogurt. And then add in a little bit of granola or a little bit of nuts for some crunch and just layer it up, and then you can have a mason jar for breakfast and for lunch.
Is this something you could do the night before?
Yeah, you definitely could do it the night before. I would say with the parfait, though, if you wanted to do that the night before, you might want to keep the granola or the nuts out or place them on the very top, and the bottom part might get a little soggy. But with the mason jar salad, for sure, I'd say, you could make that even 2 days in advance.
Oh,
Wow.
really? great.
Nice, but make sure you put the dressing on the bottom, the wet ingredients, so that it doesn't get everything else soggy. Because there's nothing like a soggy salad.
Right.
Make sure there is. But
Nothing ruins a Friday like a soggy salad. And the best part is, so we're talking about the dressing, but later in the show we're going to make one.
Yeah. So the store-bought dressings, can have a good amount of added sugar.
Yeah.
So we can talk a little bit about how to make your own and sort of control what goes in.
Very cool. All right, we'll check in with you in a little bit.
Great, thanks.
thanks so much, Dr. Kristoff.
We're back with Dr. Laura Kristoff. She's a professor of nutrition. Now we're making homemade salad dressings to top our salads in a mason jar, which I love.
Great. So now we're going to make our own salad dressing. So, you can find salad dressings in the store that have ingredients that you understand, but typically those salad dressings are a little higher in sugar than you'd like them to be. So especially if you're trying to limit sugar and trying to stay away from fats that need to be stored for a long period of time, which can cause oxidation, which then, can lead to cancers and things like that. If you're trying to avoid that, you want to stay as simple and as fresh as possible.
Well, it's funny you mention that because I've been on a real health kick lately. That I went into the store and I wanted to find the creme de la creme of salad dressings that was healthy, not a lot of sugar. And it's so expensive. And then you look at all these ingredients that we're going to use, and they're not expensive.
No, things that, I found all of these in my cabinet last night, right? So without buying anything new.
And when you make a nice, healthy, delicious dressing, it makes you want to eat salad. You're like, wow, I actually want to have that salad for lunch, as opposed to the pizza or whatever it may be.
Right, and the more simple you make it too, the more it brings out the flavor of the actual vegetables and things, instead of it tasting like, ranch with a side of salad, So.
That's true.
Which is good sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes
But not
you need
always.
it, but not always.
Okay, so let's make a dressing.
All right, so we start off with the oil. So let's start over here. So here is a little ginger sesame dressing. All right, so I started off with some toasted sesame oil, just 2 tablespoons of that. This will make 2 servings. Then dump in 2 tablespoons of rice type of vinegar there.
Like a rice wine vinegar or something like that. Okay.
Then a teaspoon or even a half teaspoon of honey, just for a little sweetness on this one. You don't need too much sweetness on this, because then you want to use a thickener, about a teaspoon of thickener, and this thickener is just going to be ginger. So just some ginger.
And
here.
other ones, I see one here, like a honey Dijon mustard.
Yeah.
Can be a thickener.
Yep, so that's more of an Italian flair over there, and so the thickener there is mustard. And then you just want to pick some spices. So for this one, I'd go pretty simple because the sesame and the honey and the ginger are so strong.
Yeah.
So this is just a little bit of garlic and a little bit of salt, and you just kind of pinch that off the top. And there's your dressing.
Was that a grated ginger? Did you grate that yourself, or did it come that way?
It's crushed ginger. Yeah, so it's a local company, the Ginger People, and they
Really?
Yeah, and so you can get that, at Whole Foods or somewhere like that.
And then we want to whisk this before we serve it, because oftentimes it layers if we look at it real closely.
Yeah, and it'll always layer when you make a salad dressing this way without an emulsifier. An emulsifier will make the little droplets kind of disperse, so you see that in a store-bought salad dressing. So, but this is great for a mason jar salad dressing, because then you shake it up and pour it out, right? So then it's all shaken for you.
And now you have a formula that you use for when you're building any type of a salad dressing. We're actually looking at the formula now, and so if you follow that, pretty much you can always make your own with different flavors.
Right, exactly. And so this other one over here is going to be more of a traditional balsamic dressing. So then the oil we picked is going to be olive oil. The vinegar is just a regular balsamic vinegar. And you don't have to do the extra virgin olive oil for this, because you don't mind the olivey taste.
Right.
Now this is salt right here?
No, that would be a lot of salt.
I was gonna say.
So if you're if you're looking for more of a low carb lifestyle, you could use something like stevia or a non-nutritive sweetener. Unlike Splenda and aspartame, stevia actually comes from a plant, and so that could be a way to get a little bit more natural sweetener, but not get any added calories from sugar.
All right, so we're gonna put a little bit of this in?
Yep, just a little bit of that in.
There we are.
There you go.
And then the binder, the mustard.
Yep, the mustard. So, and you can kind of go as much as you want with that, depending on how thick you want the dressing. Like balsamic dressing doesn't tend to be super thick.
Right.
And then I have a little basil over there.
What a nice touch.
Seth,
Whoa.
you're good at this.
Thank you.
A little garlic powder.
All right.
All of it?
There we go.
Yeah,
And then you can put a little bit of salt and pepper in there to finish it off.
Now,
there we
we're
go.
eating this food, but the people who are attending the Oscars and the after parties, they are eating some food that, it might not be as healthy, but boy, is it good. Mike Wilbur got a sneak